Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. What in the world, Mr. Z? Are you starting early? Are you okay? What you got going on, Z? Starting early and stuff. You're brand new. Anyway, like I said, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Right? Okay. So, um, this video is inspired by Obsidian, and his panel, really the panel and Obsidian, not just him by himself. Um, and I got to get the brother's name because I actually want to speak to the brother that was on Obsidian's channel that's out of DC, out of the DMV area, and he was speaking about the women that speak like Cynthia G from around his way. I was listening to it at work, so I didn't get to look down and see what his screen name was. I will get that, and I will ask if you guys know who I'm referring to ask him to hit me up in my email, and I would love to interview him to kind of get an idea of what, because DC, that's our educated class of black people. Our educated black class, we have it all over the country, obviously, but our educated class of black people are really in like that DMV area, a lot of Northeasterners, right? Mainly New York, and yeah. And so for our educated class of black women to sound like Cynthia G, wait a minute, Z. Think there's somebody that named himself after a car, Z, that has been saying something like that for quite a long time. That our educated class and the petite bourgeoisie of the black community is mainly educated black women who have contempt for black men, particularly working class black men, the majority of black men. Oopsie. Oopsie. Right? So, yeah, so I'm gonna get that brother's name. I'm gonna have to rewatch that segment and get his name so I can have y'all or I find out how I can get in contact with him to have him email me so that I can potentially you know speak to him about this. Okay, continuing. This is inspired by these brothers speaking, and also something I mentioned before, which is Crystal and Karazin watching 101 East when they were covering Japan. This is years and years and years ago. Covering Japan and covering kind of assault in Japan, etc., DV in Japan, etc. And Crystal and Karazin saying, well, they need to do that on the black community, and she assumed that it would be negative on black men and look bad on black men, and train tracks, and show black women in a positive light, in a sympathetic light. And we've had multiple, content creators and influencers on social media. I'm speaking about the women at this point who have said similar, right? They have suggested that if only non-black people would see what's going on in the black community, they would shame black men, and black men would feel inferior, and black men wouldn't feel like men because white men would tell them to step it up, and ha ha ha, and yeah, you ain't real men like them, they're real men, right? Like I've said before, like what Paris Milan tried to do with the Ukrainian Russia war, and how she tried to say, look, these are real men, look, they're defending their people, and like I've said before, white people descended on her, and she ended up taking it down because she looked like a dumbass. So yeah, be careful what you ask for. You miscalculated and you got what you asked for. Dear black women, you wanted non-black people, and this is beyond just the internet space of this back and forth and gender conflict and gender war, and of black men and black women on the internet. No. A whole lot of black women wanted non-black people to see what's going on between black men and black women because they assumed, see, this is where y'all mess up because you miscalculated. They assumed that they were on the right side of history, number one, that they would be seen in a sympathetic light, number two, and that these people's anti-black misandry was greater than just their anti-blackness. And you might have thought wrong. You might have thought wrong, right? You assumed that you would be seen in a sympathetic light. You assumed, because it's a miscalculating, it's a misreading of not only history, but it's a misreading of the time and the era we're in. And as I've said before, environments make men. Men don't exist in a vacuum. Masculinity doesn't exist in a vacuum. You create men. Your society creates men. Your society turns boys to men. Your society dictates what it is to be a man, what you have to have achieved or accomplished, how you have to move to be a man. And unfortunately, for many black women, they think that exists in a vacuum. They just look at black men and then look at the outcomes of essentially upper middle class white men and above and say, why aren't y'all there in mass? And this may not necessarily be the era to be doing that. Chrysler and Kerosene, you got what you asked for. Every once in a while, a white dude will come out and say, hey, black women, could you stop throwing black men under the bus to appeal to me because I'm white? Uh-oh. You had the white lady, the white feminist that went at Rhoda, Miss Brickface, and was livid that she believed her. And she realized, wait a minute, you used a racist stereotype about black men to garner sympathy. You used a racist stereotype about black men targeting and harming to sympathy money. Now you have this journalist out of MIT, or graduate of MIT, better yet, who is now also saying, yeah, wow, Cynthia G with the Nazi rhetoric. Yes, black women. Yes, social media content creators, black women social media content creators. Yes, you wanted this, you got it. And what you think, and I've said this before, justify why you sound the way you look. They call us fat. Look, they make fun of our broad noses and our kinky hair, and they use Keisha in a pejorative way. Nope. Huh. Nice try. Nope. Look, they make fun of our weight and they make fun of our skin tone, and nope. Huh. You miscalculated. You miscalculated. And you got exactly what you asked for. For all of you black women that thought that you would be able to shame black men, once non-black people see, look, black men's misandry, look. Ain't that right, Miss Kim Foster? You're speaking to your attorneys about Obsidian. Obsidian channel's still up. Right? Why is Zaddy to regulate black people, black men, excuse me, right? Try to act like damsel in distress, like somebody doing something to you. right? Hmm. Not only that, you've had these type of comments from these content creators for years. And as I've said before, like every time y'all show non-black people what y'all on social media when it comes to y'all conversation about black men, you get your head taken off. Chrissy thinks she's doing something slick by bringing the white dude Zach on her channel. You better ask him about the white manosphere. You think we sound crazy? All right. Huh. Y'all just y'all miscalculate, and y'all miscalculated. Y'all seriously miscalculated, like bad. And you got what you asked for. You wanted the world's attention on this back and forth between black men and black women on social media. You got it. You got it. Unfortunately for you, they're not going to shame black men the way you thought they were. Uh-oh. Huh? Because you didn't factor in how you sound. You thought what you were saying was justifiable. You thought calling black men bullet bags was justifiable. Saying that we should abort black sons because black men didn't build Wakanda for black women, you thought it was justifiable. Right? You thought it was justifiable. And here we are. Not smart. Not smart at all. Miscalculation. In this country, to think that you could speak this way and then say, I hope, white men see what black men are doing and shame them for not being real men. Didn't we see that with the Haitian migrants on the border, that the white racist cowboys were throwing ropes on and hemming up? Huh? Didn't we hear black women saying, oh, see, they're putting the women in front of them, and look, these white men are shaming them for putting the women in front of them. Y'all forgot about that whole standoff with the FBI and that militia group or whatever the hell it was a few years ago, where they were hiding behind the women while talking crap to the agents? Oh, I forgot, that was a bunch of white people, and y'all don't actually pay attention to news if it don't have something disparaging to do with black men, so y'all don't even know about that story, huh? Huh? A whole bunch of white dudes, middle-aged and all white dudes with a whole lot of semi-autos hiding behind women and children because the government telling them to get off the goddamn land. Huh? Oh, y'all either forgot about that, y'all didn't even know, or you didn't know because you didn't even know. Right? Of course. Why y'all talk crap to and about black men and hope that white racist society sees what black men are doing and shames black men and know that black women we're no longer going to mule for you, we're no longer going to defend you. And so you hope that if you show apathy for black men's death and the brutality of black men, that what white society's gonna be like, oh yeah, I guess we could do it now for real because black women don't care. Right? Thank you, Eric. Thank you. Yes. Are you talking about Emin Bundy? Yeah, the Bundy Ranch. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Right? And y'all give Z 1 second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Hysterical Detroit, but no, I'm not at Burger King. He said, let me get a double Whopper with cheese. Hysterical. And Samuel Norton says a bunch of white dudes put a white woman in the window of the government building and she got shot. Oh yeah, yeah, when they ran up on the Capitol building on January 6th. Yes. And she got shot in the neck. If I'm not mistaken. Was it in the neck? Right? Dear black women, the black women that engage in this conversation and they have all the craziness to say about black men, you miscalculated. You got what you wanted. You miscalculated. You asked for this and you got what you wanted. You gotta be, once again, like I said, y'all been smelling your own farts for far too long. You've been in your bubbles, in your echo chambers on social media for entirely too long. And every time you come out here with that rhetoric, you get your head sniped because you thought what you were saying to each other and saying to black men about black men, you convinced yourself that it was okay. You convinced yourself that it was okay. Meanwhile, what's those two? Was it the two black dudes? One of them is heavy set. One of them is a little bit lighter and has the curly. Is it playback? What's the name of that channel? They have a bunch of young brothers as subscribers, but they have a whole lot of white people as subscribers. And they review what Cynthia G video, and you just go through the comments and see the how appalled non-black people are by hearing the insanity coming from the Cynthia G types. See, you thought your placating ass white boyfriends and husbands and the white dude that's laying pipe, you thought that because you convinced them or they pretended like you convinced them that black men were trash, that you could do it for the rest of society, and it's not working that way. Oops, you're bad. And y'all talk amongst yourselves. Give me 1 second. And we're back. And Detroit says the playback. Thank you, the playback. Right? And yeah, them brothers, those young brothers, they were reviewing a couple of a video, or I think it might have even been more than one of this type of conversation. And like, if you go through the comments and you see how appalled non-black people are, dear black women that were asking, Cynthia G, you were asking, you wanted other people to see how horrible black men are, right? And you know, Crystal Harrison has done a really good job at like deleting a whole bunch of old content and, you know, black men are nothing but big D's and swag type of content. She did a really good job of scrubbing all of that, right? Big peen and swag, right? Huh. Y'all asked for non-black people to see the conflict, and it's going in a way you didn't really want. You didn't expect this. You miscalculated. You miscalculated. And now women that are even more extreme than you, Crystal and Kerrison, women that sound more insane than you, they're now on the scene, right? In this environment for non-black people to see. You know, a little while ago, I spoke on what's this guy's name too? The one who had his wife out here doing the scene with the brother. He has that channel. Oh my god, his face is right there. White dude. Um Damn, they do porn together, and the wife finally did her own scene with a brother. I forgot his name, this dude name, but um remember Destiny going on his channel, and I said y'all better hope, because Destiny spoke about swirlers and divestors, right? Destiny spoke about swirlers and divestors, or was it just divestors, on this channel, and was like, and told them like, hey, you know, there's this group of black women, they date out, and they exclusively date non-black men, and you know they can't stand black men. And I was like, y'all better hope that he don't cover it. So when I said over a year ago with the Asia Maynard situation, when I said black women, y'all being too loud, Adam 22, thank you, Paul. Adam 22, thank you, Vash. Adam 22, right? When I said y'all being too loud, I meant it. Your resentment and your anger and your rage at black men was so great, you thought that didn't matter, right? I didn't know that was a thing. And Detroit says, then Taz, the exclusives, reacted to the playback and wishing death on the two young men. Y'all have conversation between black men. Y'all have taken this lightly, wishing death on people. And once again, like social media got a lot, and it's not just black people, black women. Social media got a lot of people's minds all the way messed up. Y'all been way too reckless with the way y'all speak on the internet. Insane with the way y'all speak on the internet, right? Right? My bad, y'all. But yeah, way too reckless. Y'all have taken it for granted. Y'all have taken for granted how you sound, how absolutely insane you sound, to the point where y'all were hoping and wishing that non-black people would be privy to the conversation between black men and black women, right? I didn't know that Taz was wishing death on these dudes. Y'all got way too reckless with the way y'all speak, man. Way too reckless, right? Like, these are public platforms. Your video could go from only one person viewing it to a couple dozen to a few hundred to a few thousand to tens of thousands to maybe even a couple million, right? Y'all been way too reckless with the conversation. Yo, I watched that Kevin Samuels average at best video. I watched it live. Who would have knew it would have did numbers the way it did? Who would have knew it would have hit the way it did? Who would have known? This is a public, YouTube is a public platform, and y'all are talking reckless, absolutely insane, wishing death on other people, using absolute Nazi racist language, right? Y'all are doing that on this public platform with what, a couple billion users, right? And you know why you've done it? Because you thought you could justify it if any non-black people ever came across the insanity that y'all, the way y'all speak. Many of you thought you could justify it. So you gotta understand, black men call us fat and they call us ugly and they did that. Right? And apparently not. Right? And excuse my background, y'all, like dudes on mopeds in front of me and like, and like low key trying to stunt on the moped, so like making way more noise than it actually needs to make. Right? But yeah, y'all are doing too much. Y'all are too loud, and you got what you were asking for, right? You got what you were asking for. And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And now what? Right? I would love to speak to Crystalline Karazin and see if she even remember her saying that. It was a few years ago. She probably don't remember herself saying that. Wishing that, she could have someone like one-on-one East. So that's what, on Al Jazeera? Have one-on-one East, or have Al Jazeera, investigate what's going on in the black community amongst black men and black women. Why? Because you thought they would give you a sympathetic ear. You thought they would be sympathetic to black women and black women's plight and how horrible black men are. And how black men are these sexist, misandrous monsters preying on black girls and black women. Getting off on, destroying the self-esteem of black girls and black women. And unfortunately for you, journalists are starting to look at the black community, and it's not looking good. And wait until they start stringing all of this together. Wait, black women were opposed to My Brother's Keeper? Huh. And black women were opposed to Tina Knowles in her documentary about how black men aren't super predators? Uh-oh. Right? And black women have black boys reading at a below grade level all across the country? Uh-oh. Right? Yeah, journalists are starting to look in, and it ain't looking good. Right? And it's not looking good. And women in general, including and especially black women, this is a fact, harm their sons more than their daughters. I'm not joking. This is a fact. Single mother women in general, single mother black women specifically, get in trouble for abusing their sons more than they do their daughters. Uh-oh. That's a fact. Maybe that's why you want to abort black male babies. Because what it's showing that is that it's not that black women are incapable of raising good sons, good productive sons. Is that you despise black males in general. So you might have lost the capability, the ability to, not because you actually are inept, but because you despise their fathers that much. Oops. Huh. So y'all wanted non-black society to pay attention, and well, they are, right? It just ain't going the way you thought it was gonna go, right? It's not going the way you thought it was gonna go. It just ain't going the way you thought it. Okay, y'all, we got 26 likes and like 60 viewing. I'm just gonna say that and leave that there, right? And Calvin Rogers says, "Damn, 60 Minutes is going to interview Pookie and Ray Ray." But what happened? Was it Dennis Sperling who interviewed the brother that said, you know, how many baby mamas he had, and all of them, you know, didn't want to use a condom or whatever, whatever. And he didn't lie to them about, hey, I got like how many kids? Who was it? Was it Dennis Sperling? Attorney Dennis Sperling? Black women don't want black men to start being interviewed because we don't got to talk about them like they preying on us. Except for the brothers that actually have, you know, baby mamas that's like purposely trying to destroy them. Right? Huh. Y'all want, dear Crystal and Kerosene, you wanted this, you got it. Now people are gonna start be like, wait a minute, yeah, they did. Yeah, I remember them dancing on this some guy named Kevin Samuels, but you know, apparently he spoke bad about them. Oh, then why were they hoping that Jamie Foxx would die? Oops. Why were they dancing on Kobe Bryant's grave? Yikes. Right? Huh? Why were they opposed to my brother's keeper? Uh-oh. Why did the journalist, quote unquote journalist, news anchor Tiffany Cross say, you know, black men stand with behind black women? Right? Why did Maxine Waters threaten to do something to black men? Uh-oh. Congresswoman Maxine Waters. Congresswoman. Uh-oh. Is that the same reason why Susan Rice threatened, you know, to get the Army and the Navy and whoever the hell on Snoop Dogg? Oops. Right? Good one, Samuel Norton. Why were women old enough to be Bronny Jr. Old enough to be Bronny Jr.'s mother? I know that's what you're trying to say. Attacking him and his prom date. for all of you women, all of you content creators, all of you that are subscribed to those content creators, you wanted non-black society to be privy to the conversation between black men and black women. Here, you got it. And it ain't gonna go the way you thought it was. Oh, better yet, you hoped it would. It's not gonna go the way you hope it will. Hmm. You miscalculated, and now, well, right? Are we doing flagging wars? Maybe that's. Let me see something because that's interesting. Give me a second. If Dr. Thunder said super chat not working, huh? I wonder. We'll get that checked out. Yeah. But thank you for your support, Doc. Right? Let me see. Somebody try to send. I don't know, whatever the smallest amount. It could be $1. It could be whatever. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Doc. Let me see. Somebody just. It don't even. 99 cents. It don't matter. Let me see if y'all can't get through too. Then yeah, something's up. And let the flagging wars begin. Let's see. Right? Let's see if it's a war out here. We're about to find out, Detroit. Okay, GC sent $1. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, all right. No, it's you, Doc. It's you. Okay, there we go. Gil Gavin said test for the social workers. All right, all right, all right. Thank y'all. Thanks. All right, we good. We're good. We're good. All right. Whew. About to say, doggy scare. I was like, oh, it's flagging war. Stop, dog. Hey, I was about, all right. If that's how we're gonna play it, well, it's about to be an issue in a minute. Oh, that's what we doing. About to, but we done took your little, not even we, the white women took your little Nazi down, right? Well, I was about to, ooh. And while we're at it, GC, thank you for the $1 super sticker. Gil Gami, thank you for the super chat. He says test for the social worker. Thank you. And 18th, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you. Right. And GC says social worker tax. And that, yeah, like I said, look, they've been speaking too reckless, and that's what we have here. You asked for this, you got it. I don't know how many of you remember, and I think somebody said they remember Crystal and Karazin when I've brought it up before. Crystal and Karazin saying, oh, she, the same thing I said, she was hoping that 101 East or one of these news publications, would cover what's going on in the black community, because she thought, like I said, she thought that it would be like a sympathetic, they would give a sympathetic ear to black women. And you wanted non-black people to peer into the black community, at least the online discourse, and see what was going on, and you got it. Right? Oh yeah, yeah, and I do have a cash. Naaman did say that. Don't you have a Cash App or a PayPal account just in case? Yeah, Cash App is in the description. Right? Thank you, Naaman. Right? And it's just not. It's not wise. Right? It's really not. You got way too reckless with your rhetoric to the point where you actually thought you would have a sympathetic ear outside of like placating ass white women, right? Maybe a handful of placating ass white dudes. No, dear black women on social media, no, right? You miscalculated and now you getting what you asked for and it ain't looking good. right? Huh. And so the moral of the story here is, first, obviously, be careful what you ask for, right? Because if you miscalculate and you get what you ask for, it may not go the way you thought it was going to go, right? Be careful what you ask for. I really mean that. And that speaks to something I said last night, which is, what's worse than if these people are pretending like they don't know that they sound insane, is if they actually don't realize that they sound insane. That's actually worse than if they're pretending. That means that they've been in their echo chambers so long and so strong that they lost it for real, for real. That their moral compass, if they ever had one, is all out of whack. To the point where they're hoping and wishing that a non-black person or a non-black entity would see the conflict between black men and black women, especially on social media, and say or do something about it that would negatively impact black men. And unfortunately for you, they are starting to peer in. And it's not looking good for you, black women. It's not going to look good for you, Chrissy. It's not going to look good for you, Yanni. It's not going to look good for you, Paris. Boy, Paris, hey, I swear Paris got to be Nightcrawler from X-Men, right? All that reckless talk she been talking, she makes sure she record late night live and then delete it or put it on Patreon. I see you. That's a good point, Gil Gabby. And Gil Gabby says might be the same that same of the regulators don't want black women's hardcore ideology. I think you're trying to say pour into white women collective psyche, yes, and hinders their attempt to wait a minute, that the comment moved up. Wait a minute, renders their excuse me, psyche and hinders their attempt to course correct their socio demographic demise. Yep. In other words, elite white people don't want white women sounding and thinking and feeling this way because it's going to mess with their population that's already going down to the crapper anyway. I hear you, Gil Gabby. I hear you. Exactly. Exactly. As I said, for those of you that are recently in, I was saying earlier, y'all got way too reckless with the insanity. This is why, and a lot of this, and shout out to Dr. Thunder, a lot of the way I speak is inspired by the fact that Dr. Thunder doesn't use profanity, right? BGS tends to keep a cooler head. The Raj Report has an orderly panel. Charles, I cut Charles off all the time. Charles could punt me in real life. His big ass, he could, like, but he'll be like, "Oh, look, Z going, he on the roll." Much of the way I speak and regulate my channel is predicated on these brothers, and I understood that first, and I've said this before, we have PhDs in this space. I don't want to make them look bad. We need them in this space. I don't want to say something reckless that blow up the spot and now they got to go. So first, I don't have this type of, I guess, man version mindset of what these women are talking about, right? Number one. Number two, I understood that non-black people every once in a while would find themselves on this side of YouTube or in social media. Number three, my goal in life wasn't actually to make black women look like dumbasses, to make them look like racists. Now y'all did that by yourself. And that's why I said let them talk. That was the whole, let them talk, the internet will expose us all. And well, right? And you would have thought Samuel Norton, exactly. Septum Sally and her bashing while people, white people, while being in a relationship with a white man. You would have thought black women would have learned. Okay, fine. Let's say, okay, first wave feminism, let's say after second, let's say black women woke up sometime in the 90s or in the late 80s or even the late 90s and said, wait a minute, white women got us out here single, talking about I could do better by myself. In the early and mid 80s, they were holding hands with us. And definitely in the late 70s, mid 70s, we were all, the sisterhood and blah blah blah. And then she went and married Brad. And I mean, and I was piping Tyrone and Brad. I was hoping Brad would leave her, but he never did. Leave her for me, but he never did. And wait a minute, so she gets to do the whole sisterhood empowerment fist up thing, still marry Brad, work, retire. Brad dies, leave her the insurance. She sells the house, move in with one of the kids, and now she living her best life in some vacation spot in Florida. Meanwhile, I'm still working, never got married, barely making it, and my kids live with me. Uh-oh. Huh. You miscalculated, ladies. You would have thought you would have learned after second wave feminism, but apparently not. Apparently not. How's Lisa Ray doing? Oops. Vivica A. Fox, yikes. Monica, oh. Tracy Ellis Ross, oop. Ain't looking good. Ain't looking good. Brandy, ugh. Chili, ah. Younger white dude, less famous, less money, oh. Aisha Taylor, ugh. Aisha Taylor boxing with white women. That's what she's doing. Pun intended. Claudia Jordan, and good one, Detroit. How's Claudia Jordan doing? And most of these women are attractive. As a matter of fact, all of them are attractive in their own way. What'd that mean? Not a goddamn thing. All of them were super attractive 15 and 20 years ago. What'd that mean? How's the twin Tia Mowry doing? Ugh. Right? Lala Anthony, up. How they doing? Huh. Y'all miscalculating and you getting what you ask for. Ebony K. Williams is getting what she asked for. Y'all saw Taraji crying her eyes out, and y'all all pretended like y'all didn't know why she was crying her eyes out. Right? We all know what Tracy, I mean, I said Tracy Ellis Ross, but we know what her problem is too. The same problem Taraji got. But we all know what Taraji's problem is. And black men, for the most part, outside of black manosphere, are too afraid to say it. And black women are pretending like they don't know what it is. Tiffany Haddish, another one. Goddamn losing it. She another one. What's sadder? That's why I said a couple weeks ago, I could do better by myself. All right, what about when you're good though? What about when you're financially good? What's more bruh? And Wendy Williams, out of all people, out of all people, Wendy Williams told y'all ain't nothing sadder than walking in that big ass mansion or house, however she phrased it. Mr. Z is about to butcher it, but walking into that big ass mansion, opening the door, and all you hear is, y'all hear the car AC? Exactly. Ain't nothing, man. And then Miss Love Jones said, don't threaten me with cat lady. I'll be okay with a cat. I'd rather be with a cat than scrub the ground. Stop. Go talk to your all. Pull one of those elder women that's talking all that crap in the hair salon. Pull her to the side and ask her how her life is for real, being single. Look her dead in the eye with a sad look on your face and see if y'all both start crying. Yeah, man, you better ask somebody. Right? That's crazy. Men with money will have a wife. Bill Gates, a wife, have his wife sign a contract so he can still pipe his college sweetheart once a year, get a freebie. All right. Okay, once a year for a week or two, y'all could go whatever house that is you got over there on the beach, and y'all could go do y'all thing. Can I have another side chick too? Okay, just don't let her bite too much of the money. You make men billionaires. You make women billionaires. And you get Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. How long was she married to the Jeff Bezos lookalike dude? How long was she married to him? Was it even 2 years? Was it even 2 years? And Miss Love Jones talking about, oh, don't threaten us with that cat lady. What? Anybody heard from Michael Jordan's ex-wife? Right? Huh. What's Melinda Gates doing right now? Huh? Oh, I didn't know that. In Detroit says the same Jeff Bezos' wife donated to abortion clinic nearly $200 million. Huh. You got what you asked for, ladies. And I focus on the black community. I always say it. I would have to sit down with the rest of y'all if we wanted to compile a list of all of these, especially exer white women that destroyed their whole entire relationship and love life. How's Charlize Theron doing right now? Ooh, goddamn. You want to know why nobody trusts you? You see how you got your black son walking out here? Even white men are like, ugh, nope. Huh. I don't even want to compile a list of white women that didn't, especially rich and celebrity white women. Man. So no wonder y'all point at Eve. There's a handful of them y'all could point at, be like, look, she's doing good and she got her white man. All the rest of them, white man or black man, it don't matter. It ain't looking good, right? All right, Detroit. If Janet is Dracula, then Jasmine Guy gotta be Skeletor. I'm sorry, Jasmine Guy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Right? Uh, huh. And Jada is lucky that Will love her ass. Because Jada, you would have been Jasmine Guy too if it wasn't for Will Smith. If it wasn't for Will Smith, you would be Jasmine Guy also. Just like you, actually, less than that. If we're gonna be honest, if it was not for Will Smith, Jada would have been like the other women from that show. We would have been like, Jada who? You remember the one that used to be on a different world? Oh yeah, oh yeah. What's up with her? Jada Pinkett Smith would have been what's up with her, right? We haven't seen her since Set It Off. That's who Jada Pinkett Smith would have been. A better use in hypnosis, and better use is that's not love. Will is most definitely under hypnosis. Put it in the book, right? But on that note, everyone, I gotta make a hard stop. Look, I mean it, dear black women. You got what you were asking for. Non-black people are somewhat paying attention. A relative handful, and the sympathetic ear you thought you were gonna get, the understanding you thought you were gonna get, right? The wagging a finger at black men you thought you were gonna get, right? I'm a real man. These black men aren't real men that you thought you were gonna get. The op-eds and editorials and news segments you thought you were gonna get. The anti-black, men news segments you thought you were gonna get. What happened to them? Huh? White people are trying to convince their daughters and their sons to get married and have children now. To have more than one kid now. And you thought you could defecate on black men in front of white folks, and that would do what? Right? And no placeholder, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for the super sticker. Right? It's not smart. Really not. So on that note, everyone, I just want to kind of freestyle this and just say it's not what? And I still maintain these people really not paying attention to the environment. They really not. Right? Yeah, they feeling the pinch when they go to the grocery store, but outside of that, they still sounded, as a matter of fact, they might be sounding even more insane now. Exactly, Samuel. And Samuel Norton says reality is cold and unforgiving. Man, ain't smart, ladies. And you got what you were asking for because you miscalculated and you thought the society was going to be far more sympathetic towards you than it actually is. And you miscalculated. And now that white folks are peering in, they see a whole lot of neo-Nazi stuff coming from, wait for it, black women. Black female content creators. And God forbid they ever go through the comments, especially the live comments for some of those videos. God forbid. And on that note, all right, everyone. Love, peace, and chicken grease. We will pause right here. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, and y'all have a great, great, great rest of y'all day. Enjoy your Sunday. And please, for the love of God, go check out Black Manosphere content once again and non-Black Manosphere content. So y'all don't sound like these people. And so I can have an understanding of how not to sound on social media with no Nazi rhetoric. What's wrong with y'all? Dear ladies, what did she say that was wrong? Anyway, on that note, all right, y'all have a good day.